at all. And every one of Donald Trump's letters to these countries, every one of them in the last line says, and I, Donald Trump, can change any of these tariffs at any time, depending on, and this is the word he uses, our relationship with that country.
A 35% tariff on Canada, a 25% tariff on Japan, and a jaw-dropping 50% on Brazil. All announced by Trump, in letters that end with the same phrase, "I can change this at any time based on our relationship." What started as a trade strategy has now triggered a quiet, but massive, global shift. Allies aren't protesting. They're moving on. And Trump? He just might have overplayed his hand. If you were a world leader and got a surprise tariff from Washington, would you retaliate or quietly realign? Let us know in the comments. Because that's exactly what Canada and Japan just did. And their strategy might be smarter than anyone expected. Imagine getting a letter that reshapes your entire economy, with no warning, no negotiation, just a signature. That's how Donald Trump now handles diplomacy. Canada and Japan, two of America's closest allies, were blindsided. July 10th. A 35% tariff hits all Canadian imports. Days earlier, Japan received a 25% blow. But these weren't just economic hits, they were signals. The old alliance system is unraveling, and allies are asking, if trust is gone, what's left to hold us together? Trade isn't just about goods, it's about trust, and right now, that trust is breaking. Trump's approach isn't tied to frameworks or institutions, it's tied to leverage. In every letter to foreign leaders, he writes that tariffs may change depending on our relationship. That's not policy, that's pressure. And Canada has taken hit after hit: aluminum, steel, now everything. What's worse? These tariffs came while active talks were still underway. A move like that doesn't just change negotiations, it changes the entire relationship. This isn't negotiation, it's disruption. And allies are learning fast: stay flexible or get burned. Instead of firing back publicly, Canada chose silence. Prime Minister Mark Carney didn't rage or retaliate. He pivoted. Canada doubled down on trade talks with ASEAN, sealed a major pact with Tokyo, and leaned into the Indo-Pacific. Behind the scenes, Ottawa moved quickly, diversifying exports, signing deals, and cutting exposure to Washington. They didn't yell, they acted. And in global politics, sometimes that's the smarter play. Japan didn't hold back. Officials labeled the US tariff a clear act of economic coercion. But while they protested loudly, they also moved decisively, expanding ties in Southeast Asia and Europe. Japan's economy ministry has inked new deals, and security partnerships are growing by the day. Tokyo saw the writing on the wall. They didn't wait for things to get worse. They're not leaving America behind. But they are building Plan B, and that plan is already in motion. This isn't a protest movement, it's adaptation. Countries like Canada and Japan aren't trying to undermine the US. They're trying to survive the chaos. In today's global market, diversification isn't optional, it's urgent. When Trump promised 90 deals in 90 days, he delivered confusion instead. Letters, deadlines, but no stability. The world isn't turning anti-American, it's turning post-American. Quietly, steadily, and for good reason. Then came Brazil. On July 9th, Trump dropped the biggest hammer yet: a 50% tariff on all Brazilian imports, effective August 1st. No talks, no advance notice, just a headline and a punishment. What triggered it? Not trade. Politics. Trump's letter accused Brazil of mistreating ex-President Bolsonaro. That turned a trade issue into a power play. This isn't about supply chains anymore. It's about sending a message, loud and clear. Canada and the EU are racing against the clock. Trump gave them deadlines. Canada has until July 21st, the EU until the 31st. Miss the cutoff, and tariffs hit automatically. No grace periods, no second chances. Ottawa is silent. Brussels is scrambling. Everyone's on edge. This isn't negotiation, it's brinkmanship. And it's all being done through letters, not diplomacy. If you've made it this far, You know this isn't just about economics, it's about global power. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned. Because what happens next could reshape trade for a generation. As deadlines approached, Trump got louder, but Carney stayed still. No public concessions, no podium speeches, just focused silence. Behind that calm, a plan. Canada dropped its digital services tax to reopen talks and emphasized its value, not its vulnerability. Carney wasn't reacting, he was repositioning. He turned pressure into opportunity, and markets noticed. The TSX and S&P 500 hit new highs, on hope alone. As Trump's August 1st tariff wave looms, 10% to 70% for countries without deals, only one leader seems unshaken: Carney. He's betting on restraint, not panic. If Canada doesn't cave, Trump faces a dilemma: enforce tariffs and hurt U.S. border states, or back down and risk looking weak. Sometimes silence is stronger than shouting, and this time that silence may rewrite the rules. Trump's trade strategy was supposed to deliver quick wins. Instead, it's reshaping alliances. Global supply chains are moving. New deals are forming far from Washington. And even America's closest allies are planning for a world where the U.S. isn't at the center. This isn't the end of diplomacy, but it may be the end of doing it Trump's way.